Hey everybody, my name is Adam and this is a year in the life of a 40-year-old youth pastor, and today we're doing Leadership Essentials Part 11. Today's leadership principle is very straightforward, very simple. I don't have like a catchy way of saying it, but essentially it is this. The people who are closest to you are going to be the people who most determine your success as a leader. Now, this is a principle that you learned when you were a kid. Your parents always were concerned about who your friends were. Your youth pastor talked to you about this when you were growing up and said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And this doesn't just apply when you're a kid. It doesn't just apply when you're a teenager. It applies, I believe, in all areas of life, particularly in leadership. The Bible talks about it like this. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. It says bad company corrupts good character. And there's all sorts of references to this in the Bible, the concept that the people who are closest to you are the people who will most influence where you go and what you do and how good you become as a leader, okay? If you surround yourself by people who are better than you, who are really strong, solid leaders, you'll probably grow and become a better leader and a stronger leader. If you hang out with people who are losers, you may become a loser. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's highly likely. This principle goes across all different spheres of life, and it's so important. And so the people who I see who are the strongest and the best leaders, usually they're surrounded and they're connected with all these other people who are also really great leaders. And when I think about it, I'm like, oh duh, they're all friends because they all like help each other rise and grow and become better than they are separately. And so I want to challenge you and encourage you to think about your life. Who are the people who are closest around you? Maybe all the people around you like aren't great leaders. Maybe the people around you are lame. That's okay. But I would challenge you and encourage you to make some decisions and be intentional about choosing the people who you're going to surround yourself with in life. You can make that choice, you can make that decision, but you have to do it purposefully. You need people around you who can hold you accountable, who can challenge you to grow, who can help make you better. You need people who you can be 100% honest with, 100%. People who aren't going to be impressed by you, who aren't going to like think you're cool and want your autograph. As you rise in leadership, you need a couple people who you can just be totally yourself with, totally honest with, people who can see through all the stuff that other people don't see and just help you to make sure you don't do stupid stuff and help you to improve and get better. All right? And so another tip kind of on this, who you're surrounding yourself with, is this. And I learned this from John Maxwell, and this is kind of a famous thing that he did when he was a younger leader. He found like all these people who he thought like were the greatest leaders in the world, and he called them up and said, hey, I'll pay you $100 if you'll meet with me for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. And he flew to wherever they were, asked them a list of questions, and they poured into him for a little bit of time. And that inspired me, like, man, no, I could do that. Like, what if I were to reach out to the best people who are like the best of what I want to do and see if they would meet up with me, see if they would talk to me, see if they would FaceTime me. And I've done that to some degree. Some people just are not as accessible as others. Some people are not going to meet up with you. They're not going to talk to you, but they've got books, they've got podcasts, they've got all sorts of different things where you can learn from people who are better than you. If you're a church leader, I would highly encourage you to get a couple friends. Maybe they're church leaders, maybe they're not, but they're people who are completely like not connected to your church. People who are not in your church, but maybe who understand what you face as a leader and as a pastor, who you can just go and be honest with. There's a huge value in that I've found in my own life, that I can call somebody else who's outside of my context. I can vent, I can talk to, I can ask questions to. They can speak into it in an unbiased sort of a way. There's mega value in having that kind of relationship in your life. So let me just encourage you to think about the kind of relationships you have in your life. Who are the people who are closest to you? What direction are their lives going? What level of leaders are they? And maybe you need to make some intentional changes and begin to try to strategically and intentionally build a group of friends who you can regularly meet with, regularly connect with, who can help you to become a better leader. Otherwise, this will stunt your growth in leadership. This is a huge principle. If you can get the right people around you and get around the right people, it's going to help you grow in huge ways as a leader. So there you go. Simple concept, simple principle today that the people who are closest to you are going to most determine how far you go, how high you go, where you go, all this kind of stuff. So surround yourself purposely with great people, with great leaders, with people who are going to make you better. And this is a year in the life of a 40-year-old youth pastor, day 170. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow.